Hello, everyone. In today's story, we follow the emotional journey of CEO Tung and Ly Tu Anh. After completing the land transfer procedures, CEO Tung quietly built a brand new farm just for her, step by step turning an empty piece of land into a green, peaceful space filled with hope. Throughout the process, he carefully oversaw every detail, from the gardens and livestock areas to the main house, all carrying his sincerity and deep feelings for Ly Tu Anh. On the day of completion, Ly Tu Anh was deeply moved when she saw her dream become reality. She didn't just receive a new farm, but also felt the care, protection, and genuine affection that CEO Tung had given her. The moment they stood together in the sunlit garden became a beautiful milestone, opening a new chapter full of hope and connection. If you enjoy emotional, heartfelt, and meaningful stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story. After completing all the legal procedures for the land transfer, CEO Tung immediately moved forward with the long-awaited plan to build a brand new farm exclusively for Ly Tu Anh. The moment the ownership documents were officially signed and verified, there was no hesitation or delay from him. It felt as if everything had been prepared in advance in his mind, and now the only missing piece was action. The large plot of land, previously quiet and untouched, quickly began to transform under his vision. Surveyors arrived early in the morning, followed by engineers, architects, and construction teams who carefully studied every corner of the area. Detailed blueprints were unfolded, reviewed, and adjusted repeatedly to ensure that every structure would perfectly match the future life he imagined for Ly Tu Anh. The atmosphere on the construction site gradually shifted from silence to steady activity. Heavy machinery began to operate, breaking the ground and preparing the foundation. Trucks carrying materials came and went without pause, while workers marked boundaries and measured distances with precision. Despite the busy environment, everything was organized with a clear purpose. CEO Tung personally visited the site more than once a day, standing quietly at different points of the land, observing how the empty space slowly started to gain shape and meaning. He did not speak much, but his presence alone set a strong standard for everyone working there. Every decision, no matter how small, had to meet his expectation of perfection, because this project was not just another investment, it was a promise built from sincerity and care for Ly Tu Anh. From a distance, Ly Tu Anh often came to watch the progress, though she tried to stay unnoticed. Each time she appeared at the edge of the construction area, she would stop for a moment, overwhelmed by what she saw. The land that once felt uncertain and empty was now full of life and movement. She could see the foundation of a future farm slowly forming, areas designated for crops, spaces for livestock, and a main house that would soon become a warm and peaceful home. Her heart felt heavy in a beautiful way, as if it could not fully contain the emotions building inside her. She had never imagined that someone would dedicate so much time, effort, and sincerity to create something like this for her alone. Inside her mind, memories of past struggles quietly. During the entire construction process, CEO Tung remained deeply involved in every stage of the farm's development, ensuring that nothing was left to chance. From the earliest foundation work to the detailed interior planning of the main house, he personally monitored the progress with a calm but highly focused attitude. Every morning, before his other business matters began, he would arrive at the site to check the updates from engineers and supervisors. He studied the layout carefully, sometimes pausing for a long moment as if visualizing how Ly Tu Anh would one day live and work in each space. To him, this was not simply a construction project. It was a long-term promise built with care, patience, and emotional sincerity. The farm gradually took shape under his strict supervision. The livestock areas were designed with cleanliness and efficiency in mind, ensuring that animals could be raised in a safe and healthy environment. The vegetable gardens were arranged in wide, organized rows, with irrigation systems installed to provide steady water supply throughout the seasons. The main house, located at the heart of the farm, was built with a warm and simple architectural style, combining modern comfort with natural surroundings. CEO Tung personally reviewed the interior layout multiple times, adjusting small details such as window placement, room spacing, and lighting direction to make sure the space felt both practical and comforting. He wanted Ly Tu Anh to feel peace every time she stepped inside. Despite his busy schedule, Tung often stayed at the construction site longer than anyone else. Sometimes when the sun began to set and workers were preparing to leave, he would still stand alone near the half-finished structures, quietly observing the progress. His expression remained composed, but his thoughts were deeply connected to the vision he held in his heart. He imagined Ly Tu Anh walking through the gardens, smiling as she tended to plants, or resting peacefully in the house after a long day. These thoughts gave him motivation to continue refining every detail, no matter how small or time-consuming it might be. Ly Tu Anh, although not directly involved in the construction, occasionally visited the site. Each time she arrived, she was greeted by a scene that felt more complete and alive than before. She would watch from a distance as workers moved efficiently, machines operated steadily, and structures slowly reached completion. However, she rarely interrupted the process. On the day the farm was finally completed, the entire landscape was transformed into a peaceful and breathtaking scene. The early morning sunlight gently spread across the fields, casting a warm golden glow over every corner of the newly built structures. The once empty land, which had only recently been a quiet and undeveloped space, was now alive with green gardens, neatly arranged pathways, and a beautiful main house standing proudly at the center. A soft breeze moved through the trees, carrying the fresh scent of nature, as if the land itself was celebrating its new beginning. Everything looked exactly as CEO Tung had envisioned, carefully designed, harmoniously built, and filled with a sense of warmth and stability. Ly Tu Anh slowly stepped onto the farm for the first time after completion. Her footsteps were light, almost hesitant, as if she feared that the scene before her might disappear if she moved too quickly. Her eyes widened as she looked around, taking in every detail. The vegetable gardens were perfectly arranged, with fresh green plants swaying gently in the wind. The livestock area was clean, organized, and filled with a sense of life and care. The main house, painted in soft, natural tones, stood elegantly under the morning light, its windows reflecting the peaceful sky. It was not just a farm, it felt like a dream carefully built into reality. As she walked further inside, emotion slowly built up within her. She touched the wooden fence near the garden, then paused for a moment, letting the reality sink in. This entire place had been created for her, step by step, with patience and dedication. She remembered the long journey of construction, the constant progress, and the silent efforts she had witnessed from afar. Now, standing inside it, everything felt overwhelming in the most beautiful way. Her heart was filled with gratitude, admiration, and a deep emotional warmth she could not easily express in words.
CEO Tung stood a short distance away, quietly observing her reaction. He did not rush toward her or interrupt her moment. Instead, he simply watched with a calm expression, as if this was the outcome he had been waiting for all along.